Hey, I'm going to stop asking liberals, how dumb can you get? Because they kind of take that as a challenge and they keep getting dumber and doing dumber things every darn day of the week, don't you know? You got this Rod guy, last name I can never begin to pronounce, but he's the former governor of Illinois. And he was pardoned recently by President Trump after serving, I think it was 8 years, could have been 6 out of, I think, a 13-year sentence. Don't have my facts straight, but more or less, that'd be kind of it. He was in jail for corruption. He's a Democrat, a corruption Democrat. I repeat myself in any event. He's out now and he's saying, I am a Trumpocrat. He'll never, cute, but he'll never quite be a Trumpocrat, I don't think. But of course, you got to like him because he's out of jail now. And so many liberals are saying, why did he do that? And so many conservatives are as well. You know what? He does good things for everybody. He doesn't care what you are. I really believe that. Neil Young, he's a communist singer, originally from Canada. I think he's still a Canadian, and recently he took out his citizenship in the US. And he's like all of these entertainers. He was put on earth to entertain us. Just be quiet about everything else. But he has to always get his 2 cents in, him and Jim Carrey and all these other transplanted Canadian types. And this Neil Young is saying how bad Trump is. Well, hey, Young, Trump put a law in place, I think about 2 years ago, to protect you and all the people who have songs from the Chinese people and other people that take your message or your work, I guess, and then I'll pay for it, right? He's put in all kinds of laws to protect you left-wing people. And now he's doing it to the governor. And these people just don't get it. They just keep on being themselves. At the moment, the governor is kind of sounding appreciative. Hopefully that'll stick. We'll see. Last year in England, in the UK, there's a survey that was done that more than $300 million worth of car keys were lost. How do you do that? You got to blame the clothing manufacturers. It's probably Trump's fault somewhere in here because virtually everyone who loses a key in England is a woman. They have so many pockets and different purse things and coats and so on. They're always blaming someone else. And one woman actually did blame the president. She said, I think he owns a clothing company and it's his fault they put in too many pockets. Who would have thunk it? Hey, just sharing with you. This socialist, communist, kind of the same thing, a communist is a socialist in a hurry, person, Bernie Sanders. You know, he had a heart attack recently, and apparently he's had a series of heart attacks. He's old as well, and he's now refusing to release his medical records. Yet everybody else has to. He's your typical guy, isn't he? Let's all be equal as long as I have more. Everybody else has got to do this and that, but I don't have to because I'm a commie guy. Okay, then, I got more. The secret to getting ahead is getting started. Mark Twain. Profound. Wanted to share that with you. Wiser advisor. Just picked that up the other day when I was reading the Mark Twain book. That was kind of neat. Okay, I watched the other night a show on Ronald Reagan. It was black and white, and it was a long time ago, and it struck me that everything he's saying, President Trump is now saying as well. And it's kind of neat. That Reagan, no, he was a great speaker. I never met him in person, but back in the early 80s, Bob Hope, the famous entertainer, worked for me for a while, and Bob and I did a lot of stuff together. And we were expecting, my wife and I were expecting a baby, and I told Bob Hope, I'm going to name it after the president. And he said, let's get him on the phone, and we did. We got him on the speaker. We were in Reno, Nevada, and called the president. Bob Hope and the president were very close. And he was able to get through to him right away. And I said, hi, Mr. President, what a pleasure. We're going to have a baby soon, and we're going to name it Reagan. If it's a boy, we'll pronounce it Reagan, and we'll pronounce it Reagan if it's a girl. And he said, let me know. And he gave me a phone number. And so 35 years ago or whatever it was, I should know how old he is, 36, we had a boy. So we pronounced it Reagan. And the hospital, my wife got flowers delivered to the hospital from President and Nancy Reagan. And that was kind of cool. And I did phone and I spoke to him and I told him what we had done. He congratulated me and cha-cha-cha. So I got a kind of a warm spot for the president. But to hear him talking again about all those right-wing things kind of made me think, I guess I got an influence from somewhere, probably him. Friday, last item of the day, jumping presidents. Now we're over to kind of gun stuff. Are you with me? Keep up. Friday, March 20th. I have volunteered to be at the Toronto Sportsman Show. The show is a huge show. It goes from March 18th to March 22. And the CSSA in Canada, the Canadian Shooting Sports Association, has a booth there every year. This year it's number 1159, and I'm going to be there in their booth from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on, I wonder what day, I think the 20th, on the 20th. And so at 7:01, I'll buy drinks for anybody who drops by to say hi to me. And throughout the day, if you're around, do drop in and say hi, because I'll say hi back Friday, March 20th. Happy, happy day. It'll be a good time in Toronto. See ya.